Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on Uptop. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say Uptop. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
When HR says that today is your last day, they will enter your end dates matching the today date. Then in the next segregation, SailPoint will pull the data. Now we have triggered a lever. That means you are leaving the organization. We need to remove all the current access. This process cannot be manually. We need to automate that. That the automate event called joiner and the lever. For the joiner lever, you will not find any document for this. That's fine. You will see that Tom referred in many document joiner and all, but you will not see any document where they have mentioned what exactly is the joiner. There is one document. I'll share that with you. Even that they have mentioned very small. You know what is joiner and how we configure the joiner, but in detail or in description language, you will not see any document that they have created. Once you have a list of all the in a mature the SailPoint application, you will have all the to and flow connections, and then these joiner and lever and let other kind of functionalities that are created, and all these different applications are put in there. And based on the script and based on the user request and approvals, you will run such a script, and then that script will do the twin pro access between SailPoint and other tools for that user. Say, for example, somebody who's working in a department will have multiple applications access, and somebody working in finance probably will have just the finance application. And everybody will have access to HR application anyway as a user. They should know. I got it. Thank you. Because understand this. Every year, say you're in first and this, let's say 8,000 Z, 100,000 every day, definitely like 510 or maybe 50, 100, 200, 500 people living more, sometime then 500 people leaving the nation, then how you will revolve those new access. If you put a guy who will manually do it. First of all, you need a manual manpower. Second thing is its error-prone process. We need to define a process here which will automatically trigger, it will automatically capture all the data, will automatically send email communication app. End-to-end process should be a complete automatic process. It makes sense now. That's a bigger company. It makes a lot more sense. Smaller company that maybe one or two people can do the work, but if you're talking about 25,000 50,000 and 100,000 employees, then and you're talking about in thousands of applications, and and when thousands of people onboarded and when thousands of people leaving the organization in every month, then that's a lot of work. It has if you don't use an IM tool. The other option is basically go with the manual intervention. You will put some tools, you run some script. Then again, a manual involvement is there. First, you need to hire those like unit, that manpower basically. And again, it's error-prone process. And then different script will be run on the different system. Now everything is happening from the one place. And we're still talking about only identity management. We are not talking about identity and access management here. No, not at all. Only identity management. Only identity. Even though we have access for different, authorizations for different applications, we're still Those authorizations can be to and fro to from SailPoint. What is that? Can we provide, let's say on a payroll application, you want to add somebody with, let's say level 1, level 2, level 3, he's level 1, level 2, he wants to add the level 3 access to the payroll application. Can you do it from SailPoint? That means that is the authorization. That's the authorization part. You are assigned. Basically, you can add access. For example, let's say you have found in the payroll system. Now you have a basic access. Now you need level up one level of access. That access will be assigned to the SailPoint, but SailPoint will not be responsible for authentication purpose when you log into that system. But it can increase, it can rise the privilege. Privileges can be added to the user from the SailPoint. But it will not maintain. Basically, if you talk about the CyberArk, which is a privilege access management tool, if you see the CyberArk, the main purpose of CyberArk is to secure the credential of the privilege accounts. You can also call it, this is not a privilege PAM solution. This is basically, you can say, password manager kind of application. But same time, it does a lot of things in the background. It maintains it collaboratively with your security tools. For example, if you see this here, if I talk about the lever, when the user leave today, for example, 1,000 user leaves now, we have to trigger the lever event. All 1,000 user access will be revoked immediately. Basically, what we are doing, we are adding a security, but we are doing automation. But through automation, we are adding a security to the organization. Let's say 1,000 user leave today. We could understood. I think from that perspective that it is an invaluable tool because a lot of security related issues and auditing. I don't know if you know about auditing. A lot of auditing fields. Because there is a user's name, that was our fund, that it's created and nobody demoted, or there is users that left and still are there, and there are users that should not have access to this. They have payroll access to like a payroll processor, but that person is a Windows administrator or something. There are a lot of auditing issues that happens, and I think those kind of issues can be resolved pretty quickly with yes abs. I mentioned this point regarding audit, that audit is a big issue. You have totally unmanaged data. Now you have managed data, you have automation process. Everything is captured by SailPoint. It's very easy to perform audit by the audit team. Audit team can perform, and also it is good for the company to show that they are doing their things from. Group is basically based on one property group. Is like basically in your college, they have divided one group based on the subject letter. Let's say these are like 100 students in one class, but in that you have no subject, optional subject. Now, after that, so if I have to choose option subject A, then another 50 use 50, choose option subject B. What we are doing basically, we are grouping those 25 is a 50-50 user into one group. Now, this is a group. Now, work group is basically, let's say, these are some activities performed. There's some process in your college life, example, placement and all department. What your college want, that they want to pick some student who will be responsible to take some initiative for the announcement purpose or some representation purpose. We will use some student. What they will do, they will randomly pick some user based on the skill set, and they will give them a tag that you are 5 people belongs to this placement. Cell POC, point of contact, basically. Here that is called a work group. For specific tasks, we are basically, making a kind of single entity where we are adding user based on any criteria. There's no fixed criteria. Now for what will happen when anyone who need that placement query, they will reach out to any of that guy from that placement policy group. Correct. Yes. Here it's like the users of the placement group. It's not segregated based on any kind of region or similar attribute. The task is similar, but the attributes, region, and everything doesn't matter. But for groups, the region and those attributes matter, but they can have different tasks. For the group here, group can be created based on single attribute. Like I give you an example of that optional subject. You can create a group based on the region, location, department manager status. You can create a group for all the managers. Group can be only created for a single attribute. But access product to the people belonging to the group may differ. Definitely. There is no relation with access here in the group. We are just grouping the people, basically. In the population, you can add those criteria. It's optional. It's not a mandatory. Based on the credit criteria, based on the access, you can define the population. Let's say, example, all user who has admin access on active data. You want to create a population. You can create here. Who here you see here, you will see the application criteria also. You want to choose application, all users from the financial application, who is coming from the department, region, and number of credit. You can apply here and you can search. Now we don't have any user. Basically that you can apply here. And these groupings can be made for the entire enterprise without all applications, all employees to anything you want. Within the SailPoint, whatever data you have, based on that, you can create a group and the population. This is a group and population. Now, if you see this, I'm on the home page. When I log in, this is the home page was coming. If you set a UC or installation, you will also see this home page. You will not see few options. One is here. You will see only one quick link here. You will not see other quick links to set up. Here you see the business process. Below business process, you don't see anything like life's equivalent. All here again, you don't see lifecycle manager. By default, SailPoint come with application onboarding feature and all this different feature and the compliance manager you see here. Now we have not explored the compliance manager yet, but I want to show you another model, which is a separate license model that is called lifecycle manager. That come directly in your package. You go here, web apps. I can do IQ web enough. And inside the config, you will see that file. Search for init.lcm. That is initialized LCM model. Copy this path here. Go to global setting. Import from file. Choose this file here. It's for init.lcm. This is an Intel SIM. Open this, import this now. Basically, we are setting up the lifecycle manager model. There are different files inside this folder, email template, workflow, different things, task definition. Many things are imported by the same file. Now log out and log in again. just to see the new changes. You don't need to restart the server. Now you see here some additional quickings are coming up here, life cycle events coming up here, and you will see altogether one complete life cycle manager entry here. This is your life cycle manager. This is how we import. This is license 1. The file comes in your directory for training purpose, for learning purpose. You can use free of cost for the commercial purpose. You have to pay license cost to save. Same thing like, for example, we can pirate the windows and we can set up the windows on our desktop and the laptop, and we don't need to pay anything to the Microsoft. But when the donation use the Windows system, they have to pay a license fee to the Microsoft. It's the same thing here. This is already inside your IDIQ folder in this directory. Webinar config. When you do the installation, you'll set up this folder. And inside this webinar, config init. This is already there. You can see this part from the video and you can use this file. Basically, it's a pre-built, configured but not installed here. I mean pre-built provide but not configured. We have just configured here. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.